Now is Enough, A Simple Path to Mindful Living. Read by Elena Emira. Introduction. The constant pull of past and future. In the whirlwind of modern existence, our minds often operate like restless travelers, constantly journeying between the landscapes of yesterday and the horizons of tomorrow. We replay past conversations, regret missed opportunities, or dwell on perceived failures. Simultaneously, we meticulously plan for the future, anticipate challenges, and fantasize about what will be when certain goals are achieved. This incessant mental time travel, while seemingly productive at times, frequently pulls us away from the only moment we truly possess, the present. The irony is profound. In our quest for a better future or an improved past, we often miss the richness, the quiet beauty, and the profound opportunities embedded in the now. This pervasive disconnection from the present moment manifests in various ways. We might find ourselves scrolling endlessly through social media, physically present but mentally absent during conversations, or rushing through daily tasks without truly experiencing them. The consequence is a feeling of being perpetually out of sync, a sense that life is passing us by, and a deep-seated anxiety about what's next or what we've left behind. We become experts at living for the future rather than in the present. This book, Now is Enough, A Simple Path to Mindful Living, is an invitation to gently redirect your attention to the here and now. It's a guide to reclaiming your presence, finding contentment in the unfolding moment, and discovering that true peace and fulfillment are not found in an idealized future or a rewritten past, but in the simple, profound reality of this moment. It's about recognizing that enough is not a destination, but a state of being cultivated through conscious awareness. Through accessible insights and practical techniques, you will learn to understand the nature of the present moment and its transformative power. Anchor yourself in the now using the simplicity of your breath. Observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, creating mental space. Engage your senses to fully experience the richness of daily life. Infuse mindfulness into everyday routines, transforming chores into opportunities for presence. Cultivate non-reactivity, choosing your responses rather than being driven by impulse. Embrace imperfection and acceptance, letting go of the need for flawless moments. Integrate intentional pauses into your busy schedule for rejuvenation. Navigate the digital world mindfully, reducing distractions and reclaiming focus. Practice gratitude for the present, appreciating what is right now. Build resilience by staying grounded in the face of life's challenges. Now is Enough is not about abandoning your goals or ignoring your past. Instead, it's about equipping you with the tools to live more fully, more consciously, and more joyfully in the only time that truly exists. It's a compassionate companion on your journey to discovering that the greatest treasure is not found in what was or what will be, but in the profound and boundless reality of now. Chapter 1. Understanding the present moment. The concept of the present moment seems deceptively simple. It's the now, the fleeting instant that exists between the past, which is gone, and the future, which has not yet arrived. Yet, for many, truly inhabiting this present moment is one of the most challenging aspects of modern life. Our minds are powerful tools designed for planning, remembering, and problem solving, but this very capacity often pulls us away from direct experience. We live in a constant state of mental commentary, analyzing, judging, and anticipating, rather than simply being. This mental wandering is not inherently bad. It's a natural function of the human brain. However, when it becomes the default mode, we lose touch with the richness of our immediate environment and our internal experience. We might be physically present in a conversation, but mentally rehearsing our next response or worrying about a task at work. We might eat a meal, but our thoughts are miles away, planning the rest of the day. This creates a sense of detachment, a feeling that life is happening to us, rather than us actively participating in it. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing one's attention to the present moment, on purpose, without judgment. It's about noticing what's happening right now, both internally, thoughts, emotions, bodily sensations, and externally, sights, sounds, smells, tastes, touch. It's not about emptying your mind or achieving a state of blissful calm, but about cultivating a gentle awareness of whatever arises. Consider an individual who is constantly preoccupied with planning their next career move, analyzing past performance reviews, and worrying about future financial security. Their mind is a perpetual motion machine, rarely settling on the current task or interaction. When they are at work, they might be thinking about their personal life. When they are at home, their thoughts drift back to work. This constant mental oscillation prevents them from fully engaging with any single moment. They might miss subtle cues in conversations, overlook details in their work, or fail to appreciate simple pleasures like a sunset or a shared meal. The consequence is a feeling of chronic stress and a sense that they are always behind or not enough because their focus is never truly on the present reality. The turning point comes when they realize this constant mental activity is draining their energy and preventing them from experiencing genuine contentment. They begin to experiment with bringing their attention back to their immediate surroundings, to the sensations of their body, or to the simple act of breathing, even for brief moments. This practice, over time, starts to create small pockets of presence, allowing them to feel more grounded and less overwhelmed by the relentless pull of past and future. Understanding the present moment is the first step towards living more mindfully. It involves recognizing that the past is a memory and the future is an imagination. The only reality we truly inhabit is this very instant. By cultivating awareness of this truth, we open ourselves up to a deeper, more authentic engagement with life. It's about shifting from a state of automatic pilot to one of conscious participation, allowing ourselves to truly be where we are, right now. Chapter 2. The Breath as an Anchor. In the vast and often turbulent ocean of our thoughts and emotions, the present moment can feel like an elusive shore. Our minds, as we've explored, are prone to drifting, pulling us into the currents of past regrets or future anxieties. To navigate this mental landscape with greater ease and presence, we need a reliable anchor, something that is always available, always in the now, and always connected to our physical being. That anchor is our breath. Our breath is a miraculous, involuntary process that sustains life. It's happening constantly, without conscious effort. However, when we bring our awareness to it, it transforms into a powerful tool for mindfulness. The simple act of noticing the inhale and the exhale can immediately pull us out of mental chatter and ground us in the present. It's a physiological bridge between our inner world and the external reality. When we consciously focus on our breath, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, often referred to as the rest and digest system. This counteracts the fight or flight response of the sympathetic nervous system, which is frequently overactive in our high-stress lives. By slowing and deepening our breath, we send a signal to our brain that we are safe, calm, and in control, even amidst chaos. Imagine an individual experiencing a surge of anger or frustration during a difficult conversation. Their heart rate increases, muscles tense, and thoughts race, often leading to an impulsive, regrettable outburst. In this heightened state, their breath becomes shallow and rapid. If, however, they have cultivated the practice of using their breath as an anchor, they can consciously pause. Instead of immediately reacting, they might take a slow, deep inhale, feeling the air fill their lungs, and then a longer, deliberate exhale, releasing some of the physical tension. Repeating this just a few times can create a crucial moment of space. This space allows them to observe the anger without being consumed by it, to choose a more measured response, and to prevent the situation from escalating. The breath acts as a circuit breaker, interrupting the automatic stress response and allowing for a more mindful engagement with the present challenge. Mindful breathing is not about controlling your breath perfectly or trying to force a state of relaxation. It's about noticing. Notice the sensation of the air entering your nostrils, the rise and fall of your chest or abdomen, the subtle pause between breaths, and the feeling of the air leaving your body. When your mind inevitably wanders, and it will, gently bring your attention back to the breath without judgment. This act of returning, again and again, is the practice itself. Here are ways to integrate the breath as your anchor. The stop practice. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, stressed, or distracted, simply stop. Take a deep breath. Observe what's happening, thoughts, feelings, sensations. Proceed with intention. Micro breaths. Throughout your day, take 3 conscious breaths at natural transition points. Before opening an email, before answering the phone, before getting out of your car, or before entering a new room. Breath counting. Inhale for a count of 4, hold for 1, exhale for a count of 6. Repeat this 5-10 times. This helps to focus the mind. Body scan with breath. Lie down or sit comfortably. Bring your awareness to different parts of your body, noticing any sensations and breathing into them, imagining the breath bringing relaxation to that area. Walking meditation. As you walk, synchronize your breath with your steps. Notice the sensation of your feet on the ground and the rhythm of your breathing. The breath is your ever-present companion, a silent guide to the present moment. By consciously engaging with it, you build a powerful internal resource for grounding yourself, managing stress, and cultivating a deeper sense of presence in every aspect of your life. It's the simplest yet most profound path to realizing that now is enough. Chapter 3. Observing thoughts without judgment. Our minds are ceaseless factories of thought. From the moment we wake until we drift to sleep, a continuous stream of ideas, memories, plans, worries, and judgments flows through our consciousness. While thinking is essential for navigating the world, our relationship with these thoughts often determines our level of presence and peace. We frequently get entangled in our thoughts, believing every story they tell, identifying with every emotion they trigger, and allowing them to pull us away from the immediate reality of the present moment. Mindful living is not about stopping thoughts. That's an impossible and often counterproductive goal. Instead, it's about changing our relationship with them. It's about learning to observe our thoughts as transient mental events, rather than absolute truths or commands that must be followed. This practice, known as decentering or cognitive diffusion, allows us to create space between ourselves and our thoughts, preventing them from overwhelming us or dictating our experience of the present. When we practice observing thoughts without judgment, we become the witness, not the participant. We notice thoughts arising, acknowledge their presence, and then let them pass, much like clouds drifting across the sky. We don't chase them, fight them, or cling to them. This gentle detachment reduces their power over us and frees up mental energy to engage with what's actually happening in the present. Consider an individual who is prone to excessive worry about future events, such as an upcoming presentation at work or a potential financial challenge. Their mind constantly generates what if scenarios, catastrophic predictions, and self critical narratives. I'm not good enough. I'm going to fail. These thoughts, though purely mental constructs, trigger physical anxiety symptoms like a racing heart and shallow breathing, pulling them entirely out of the present moment. They might find themselves unable to focus on current tasks, enjoy leisure time, or connect meaningfully with loved ones, all because their mind is trapped in a future-oriented loop of worry. The turning point comes when they learn to observe these worry thoughts as mere thoughts, not immediate realities. Instead of trying to suppress them or solve every hypothetical problem, they might mentally label them, oh, there's a worry thought about the presentation, and then gently return their attention to their breath or a sensory experience in the present. This practice gradually weakens the grip of the worry, allowing them to experience the present moment more fully, even if the thoughts still arise. Here are strategies for observing thoughts without judgment. Labeling thoughts. When a thought arises, mentally label it without judgment. For example, planning thought, worry thought, judgment thought, memory. This helps to externalize the thought and reduce identification with it. Thoughts as clouds. Imagine your thoughts as clouds drifting across the sky. You observe them as they appear, move across your field of vision, and then disappear. You don't need to jump on each cloud or analyze its shape. The river of thoughts. Visualize your thoughts as leaves floating down a river. As each thought appears, gently place it on a leaf and watch it float downstream. Don't jump in the river. Thank you, mind. When your mind brings up a distracting or unhelpful thought, you can gently acknowledge it by saying, "Thank you, mind, for that thought," and then gently redirect your attention to the present. This acknowledges the mind's function without engaging in the thought's content. Body scan for a thought impact. Notice how certain thoughts affect your body. Does a worry thought create tension in your shoulders? Does a critical thought make your stomach clench? Observing the physical sensation can help you realize the thought's impact without getting lost in its narrative. Short meditation practice. Dedicate 5-10 minutes each day to sitting quietly and simply observing your thoughts. Don't try to change them, just notice them. Each time your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath. By practicing observation without judgment, you cultivate a sense of inner spaciousness and freedom. You learn that you are not your thoughts and you have the power to choose how you engage with them. This fundamental shift allows you to be more present, less reactive, and more deeply rooted in the reality that now is enough. Chapter 4. Engaging the Senses, a Gateway to Now. In our modern, often visually and digitally saturated world, we tend to live predominantly in our heads, disconnected from the rich tapestry of sensory information that constantly surrounds us. Yet, our 5 senses sight, sound, smell, taste, and to share powerful, immediate gateways to the present moment, they are always operating in the now, providing direct, unfiltered information about our environment. When we intentionally engage our senses, we pull ourselves out of mental abstraction and into the vivid reality of our immediate experience, making now truly enough. Sensory awareness is a cornerstone of mindful living. It's about consciously noticing the details that we often filter out or take for granted. It transforms mundane moments into opportunities for profound presence and appreciation. By intentionally tuning into what we see, hear, smell, taste, and feel, we anchor ourselves to the physical world and quiet the incessant chatter of the mind. Consider an individual who typically rushes through their morning routine, eating breakfast while checking emails, showering while planning their day, and commuting while listening to a podcast. their senses are engaged only superficially, if at all. They might finish their coffee without tasting it, arrive at work without remembering the drive, and feel a constant sense of being disconnected from their own life. The consequence is a feeling of being on autopilot, perpetually behind, and rarely experiencing genuine enjoyment in these daily activities. The turning point comes when they decide to intentionally engage their senses in one small part of their routine. For example, during their morning coffee, they might consciously notice the warmth of the mug in their hands, the rich aroma of the coffee, the steam rising, and the complex flavors with each sip. This simple act transforms a rushed, unconscious habit into a moment of mindful presence. They might then extend this practice to their shower, noticing the feel of the water, the scent of the soap, or to their commute, observing the colors and textures of the landscape, rather than being lost in thought. This deliberate sensory engagement brings a new depth of experience and appreciation to everyday life, making each moment more vibrant and fulfilling. Here are ways to engage your senses as a gateway to the present. Mindful eating. Before eating, pause. Notice the colors, shapes, and textures of your food. Inhale its aroma. As you chew, pay attention to the flavors, the textures, and how your body responds. Chew slowly and savor each bite. Sound awareness. Close your eyes for a minute. Listen to the furthest sound you can hear, then the closest. Notice the different layers of sound around you without labeling or judging them. Tactile exploration. Consciously feel the texture of your clothes, the chair you're sitting on, the ground beneath your feet, or the warmth of a mug in your hands. Notice the pressure, temperature, and texture. Visual scan. Look around you as if seeing your environment for the first time. Notice colors, patterns, light, and shadow. Pick one object and observe it in detail, noticing every nuance. Scent check-in. Take a deliberate inhale. What scents are present in your environment? Your coffee, a flower, the air after rain? Notice them without judgment. Walking with awareness. As you walk, pay attention to the sensations of your feet touching the ground, the movement of your legs, the feeling of the air on your skin, and the sights and sounds around you. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 exercise. When feeling overwhelmed, identify 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This quickly grounds you in the present. By regularly engaging your senses, you cultivate a deeper connection to your immediate reality. You transform ordinary moments into extraordinary experiences, finding beauty and richness in the simple act of being present. This sensory awakening is a powerful path to realizing that now's enough, filled with an abundance of experience waiting to be noticed. Chapter 5. Infusing mindfulness into everyday routines. The idea of mindful living often conjures images of serene meditation cushions or peaceful retreats. While these practices are valuable, true mindfulness extends far beyond formal sessions. It's about bringing conscious awareness to the mundane, the repetitive, and the seemingly insignificant moments that make up the vast majority of our lives. By infusing mindfulness into our everyday routines, from brushing our teeth to doing dishes, commuting, or even waiting in line, we transform ordinary tasks into opportunities for presence, peace, and a deeper appreciation for the now. The danger of autopilot is that we go through our days mechanically, performing actions without truly experiencing them. Our bodies are present, but our minds are elsewhere, planning, worrying, or fantasizing. This disconnection leads to a sense of rushing, a lack of fulfillment, and a feeling that time is slipping away. Mindful engagement with routines is about reclaiming these moments, bringing intention and awareness to each action. Consider an individual who dreads household chores. viewing them as tedious obligations to be rushed through. They might wash dishes while simultaneously listening to a podcast and planning their next work task, or clean the house with a sense of resentment and impatience. The result is that the chores feel even more burdensome, and they gain no sense of satisfaction or presence from the activity. The turning point comes when they decide to experiment with mindful dishwashing. Instead of rushing, they consciously focus on the sensations: the warmth of the water, the feel of the soap suds, the texture of the sponge against the plate, the sound of the water running. They notice the sparkle of the clean dishes. When their mind wanders to future tasks or past grievances, they gently bring it back to the sensations of washing. This simple shift transforms a dreaded chore into a meditative practice. It doesn't make the dishes disappear, but it changes their experience of the task, infusing it with a sense of peace and presence. They realize that even in the most mundane activities, now is enough to find a moment of calm. Here's how to infuse mindfulness into your daily routines. Choose one routine. Start with one routine you do every day, e.g., making coffee, showering, walking to your car, brushing your teeth. Engage all senses. As you perform this routine, consciously bring your attention to your senses. What do you see, hear, smell, taste, and feel? Brushing teeth. Notice the taste of the toothpaste, the feel of the brush bristles, the sound of the brushing, the reflection in the mirror. Showering. Feel the water on your skin, smell the soap, hear the water flow, notice the warmth. Commuting. If driving, notice the colors of traffic, the sounds of the road, the feel of the steering wheel. If walking, notice the ground beneath your feet, the sights and sounds of your surroundings. Making coffee, tea. Pay attention to the aroma of the beans, tea leaves, the sound of the water boiling, the warmth of the mug, the first sip. Slow down. Resist the urge to rush. Take a few extra moments to perform the task with deliberate attention. Notice mind wandering. Your mind will wander. That's normal. When you notice it, gently bring your attention back to the sensations of the routine without judgment. No multitasking. For the chosen mindful routine, avoid other distractions like checking your phone, listening to podcasts, or planning your day. Dedicate your full attention. By intentionally bringing mindfulness to your everyday routines, you transform pockets of unconscious living into opportunities for presence and peace. You reclaim moments that might otherwise be lost to distraction, finding that even in the simplest acts, the present moment holds profound value. This consistent practice builds your capacity for mindfulness, allowing you to live more fully and deeply, affirming that now is enough in every aspect of your day. Chapter 6. Cultivating Non-Reactivity. In the fast-paced currents of modern life, it's easy to get swept away by immediate impulses, strong emotions, or external provocations. We often find ourselves reacting automatically to situations, snapping back in an argument, impulsively buying something we don't need, or immediately becoming defensive when criticized. This reactive mode of living, driven by ingrained patterns and unconscious triggers, can lead to regret, strained relationships, and a constant feeling of being at the mercy of circumstances. Cultivating non-reactivity is a cornerstone of mindful living. It's about creating a conscious pause between stimulus and response, allowing us to choose how we engage with the world, rather than being dictated by it. Non-reactivity doesn't mean becoming emotionless or passive. It means developing the capacity to observe your thoughts and feelings as they arise without immediately acting on them. It's about recognizing the urge to react, acknowledging it, and then consciously deciding whether that reaction serves your highest good or aligns with your values. This pause however brief, is where true freedom and wisdom reside. Consider an individual who frequently gets caught in online arguments or social media debates. When they encounter a comment or opinion they disagree with, their immediate, almost automatic reaction is to feel a surge of anger or indignation, leading them to type out a heated, often personal response. This reactive pattern leaves them feeling drained, resentful, and often regretting their words later. They might spend hours stewing over the exchange, disrupting their peace. The turning point comes when they begin to practice non-reactivity. When they see a triggering comment, they notice the immediate physical sensations, tension, heat, and the surge of reactive thoughts. How dare they? I must respond. Instead of typing, they might take a few deep breaths, mentally labeling the feeling, anger, defensiveness. They then consciously ask themselves, does responding right now serve me? Will it lead to a positive outcome? This pause allows the initial emotional intensity to subside. They might then choose to close the tab or craft a calm, measured response, or simply decide that engaging is not worth their energy. This practice gradually breaks the reactive cycle, allowing them to reclaim their emotional peace and energy, demonstrating that now is enough to choose a wiser path. Here are strategies for cultivating non-reactivity. The space practice. When you feel a strong emotion or an urge to react, mentally create space around it. Imagine the feeling as a cloud, and you are the vast sky observing it. Don't try to push it away, just observe its presence. Count to 10 or more. This classic advice works because it creates a physical and mental pause. Before speaking or acting on an impulse, count slowly to 10. For stronger urges, count to 20 or 30. Notice the physical sensations. Before reacting, check in with your body. Where do you feel the emotion? Is there tension, heat, tightness? Simply noticing these sensations can help to de-escalate the emotional charge. Ask, does this serve me? Before responding, ask yourself, will this reaction bring me closer to my goals? Will it improve the situation? Is it aligned with my values? If the answer is no, choose a different path. Practice mindful listening. In conversations, focus fully on what the other person is saying, rather than formulating your response while they are still speaking. This reduces the urge to interrupt or react defensively. Delay your response. For non-urgent communications, emails, texts, social media, give yourself a buffer. Don't feel compelled to respond immediately. This allows for a more thoughtful, less reactive reply. Identify your triggers. Become aware of the specific situations, words, or behaviors that tend to provoke your automatic reactions. Awareness is the first step to change. Practice self-compassion. If you do react impulsively, don't beat yourself up. Acknowledge it, learn from it, and gently recommit to practicing non-reactivity next time. Cultivating non-reactivity is a profound act of self-mastery. It empowers you to live with greater intention, respond with wisdom, and navigate life's challenges with a calm and centered presence. By creating that crucial pause between stimulus and response, you reclaim your power and discover that in the quiet space of choice, now is enough for conscious living. Chapter 7. Embracing Imperfection and Acceptance. In our relentless pursuit of an idealized life, we often fall prey to the insidious trap of perfectionism. We strive for flawless outcomes, perfectly executed plans, and an unblemished personal narrative. This pursuit, however, is a constant battle against the inherent nature of reality, which is imperfect, messy, and constantly in flux. True mindful living, and the realization that now is enough, requires a radical embrace of imperfection and a deep cultivation of acceptance of ourselves, of others, and of life's unpredictable unfolding. Perfectionism is a significant barrier to presence. When we are constantly striving for an unattainable ideal, we are never truly satisfied with the present moment. We judge it against a theoretical perfect standard, finding it lacking. This leads to chronic dissatisfaction, anxiety about mistakes, and a fear of failure that prevents us from fully engaging with life as it is. Acceptance, on the other hand, is not resignation. It is a courageous acknowledgement of reality, allowing us to meet each moment with open awareness rather than resistance. Consider an individual who is a talented artist but struggles with perfectionism. They might spend countless hours on a single piece, constantly finding flaws, erasing and restarting, never feeling satisfied with the outcome. The joy of creation is overshadowed by the relentless inner critic demanding an impossible standard. They might even abandon projects entirely out of fear that they won't be perfect. This leads to creative blocks, frustration, and a sense of inadequacy despite their talent. The turning point comes when they begin to embrace imperfection. They might intentionally create imperfect sketches, allowing mistakes to be part of the process. They might focus on the act of painting itself, the feel of the brush, the mixing of colors, rather than solely on the final product. When a flaw appears, instead of judging it harshly, they might observe it with curiosity, perhaps even incorporating it into the piece. This shift allows them to experience the joy of creation in the present moment, releasing the burden of an unattainable ideal. They discover that the beauty lies not in flawlessness, but in the authentic expression and the process itself, realizing that now is enough to create and appreciate. Embracing imperfection and acceptance involves several key practices. Acknowledge reality. The first step is to simply acknowledge what is, without judgment. This is how things are right now. This doesn't mean you like it, but you're not fighting it. Practice self-compassion. When you make a mistake, or things don't go as planned, treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a dear friend. This is a difficult moment, and it's okay to feel this way. I am human. Let go of control. Recognize that many things in life are beyond your control. Focus your energy on what you can influence and practice letting go of the need to control outcomes. Embrace good enough. Sometimes good enough is truly enough. Release the pressure to always exceed expectations or achieve an impossible standard. Learn from mistakes. View errors not as failures, but as opportunities for learning and growth. What can you learn from this imperfect moment? Mindful observation of judgment. Notice when your inner critic or judgmental thoughts arise. Observe them without engaging, and gently redirect your attention to the present. Practice non-attachment. Be present with experiences, positive or negative, without clinging to them or pushing them away. Everything is impermanent. Embracing imperfection and acceptance is a profound act of liberation. It frees you from the exhausting cycle of striving and self-reproach, allowing you to meet life as it truly is, beautifully flawed and constantly evolving. By cultivating acceptance, you open yourself to the richness of the present moment, discovering that in its authentic reality, now is enough for peace and contentment. Chapter 8. The Power of Intentional Pauses. In our culture of relentless productivity and constant connectivity, the idea of pausing can feel counterintuitive, even lazy. We are conditioned to believe that every moment must be filled, every gap utilized, and every second accounted for. Yet, ironically, this perpetual motion often leads to decreased efficiency, increased stress, and a profound disconnection from ourselves and the present moment. The antidote lies in the deliberate and powerful practice of incorporating intentional pauses into our daily lives. An intentional pause is a conscious decision to stop, however briefly, from whatever you are doing, to simply be present. It's not about escaping or procrastinating. It's about resetting, recharging, and reconnecting. These pauses can be as short as a few breaths or as long as a dedicated break, but their common thread is the deliberate shift from doing to being, from external focus to internal awareness. Consider an individual who works in a fast-paced, high-pressure environment, constantly moving from one task to the next, often skipping breaks and eating lunch at their desk while working. This continuous activity leads to mental fatigue, decreased concentration, and a feeling of being perpetually overwhelmed. They might experience decision fatigue, make more mistakes, and feel irritable by the end of the day. The turning point comes when they decide to experiment with intentional pauses. Instead of pushing through, they might set a timer for 5 minutes every hour to simply step away from their screen, take a few deep breaths, look out a window, or stretch. They might also commit to a full 15-minute mindful lunch break away from their desk. These small, deliberate breaks initially feel unproductive, but they soon notice a significant improvement in their focus, creativity, and overall energy levels. The pauses allow their minds to reset, preventing burnout and enabling them to return to tasks with renewed clarity. They realize that these moments of doing nothing are actually vital for sustained productivity and well-being, demonstrating that now is enough to recharge and refocus. The power of intentional pauses lies in their ability to break the autopilot. They disrupt unconscious habits and bring you back to conscious awareness. Reduce stress. They activate the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering heart rate and promoting relaxation. Improve focus. Short breaks allow your mind to rest and consolidate information, leading to better concentration when you return to tasks. Boost creativity. Pausing allows for mind wandering, which is crucial for generating new ideas and insights. Enhance self-awareness. They provide opportunities to check in with your body, emotions, and energy levels. Increase appreciation. By slowing down, you become more aware of the simple pleasures and beauty in your surroundings. Here's how to integrate intentional pauses. The 90-20 rule. Work for 90 minutes, then take a 20-minute break. This aligns with natural energy cycles. Transition pauses. Before starting a new activity, e.g., leaving work, entering your home, beginning a meeting, take a 1-2 minute pause to mentally transition. Micro breaks. Every hour, stand up, stretch, look away from your screen, and take a few deep breaths. Mindful movement. Incorporate short bursts of mindful movement, like a quick walk around the block or a few stretches, into your day. Sensory pauses. Take a moment to fully engage one of your senses, listen to a favorite song, savor a piece of fruit, look closely at a plant. Scheduled nothing time. Block out small chunks of time in your calendar for nothing. No agenda, just being. Intentional pauses are not a luxury. They are a necessity for a balanced and mindful life. By consciously choosing to step back, even for a moment, you reclaim your presence, enhance your well-being, and discover that true productivity and fulfillment emerge not from constant doing, but from the wise integration of being. In these moments of stillness, you find that now is enough to restore and thrive. Chapter 9. Digital Detox and Presence. In an age defined by constant connectivity, our digital devices, smartphones, tablets, computer shave become extensions of ourselves. While they offer unparalleled convenience and access to information, Their pervasive presence often comes at a significant cost to our ability to live in the present moment. Constant notifications, the endless scroll of social media, and the pressure to be perpetually available create a state of fragmented attention, digital overwhelm, and a deep disconnection from our immediate surroundings and inner peace. Cultivating presence in the digital age often requires a conscious and strategic approach to digital detox. Digital detox is not necessarily about abandoning technology entirely, but about creating intentional boundaries and periods of disconnection to reclaim your attention and foster a deeper connection with the now. It's about being the master of your devices rather than allowing them to master you. The goal is to reduce the constant pull of the digital world so you can fully engage with the richness of your real-world experiences. Consider an individual who finds themselves constantly checking their phone, even during meals, conversations, or while trying to relax. They might feel a compulsive urge to respond to every notification, fearing they'll miss out on something important. This habit leads to fractured attention, strained relationships as loved ones feel ignored, and a persistent feeling of anxiety or restlessness when not connected. They might struggle to focus on deep work or truly unwind, as their mind is always anticipating the next digital ping. The turning point comes when they realize this constant digital engagement is robbing them of their presence and peace. They might start by implementing small digital detoxes, setting specific no-phone times, e.g., during meals, an hour before bed, turning off non-essential notifications, or designating certain areas of their home as tech-free zones. Initially, they might experience withdrawal symptoms or a fear of missing out, but as they persist, they notice a significant improvement in their ability to focus, their quality of sleep, and the depth of their real-world interactions. They discover that true connection and contentment are found offline, realizing that now is enough without constant digital input. Here are strategies for a mindful digital detox to enhance presence. Implement no phone zones, times. Designate specific areas, e.g., bedroom, dining table, or times, e.g., first hour of the day, last hour before bed, during meals, as completely tick-free. Turn off non-essential notifications. Most apps do not require immediate attention. Turn off notifications for social media, news, and non-urgent emails. Check them on your own terms. Schedule digital check-ins. Instead of constantly reacting to pings, set specific times during the day to check emails, social media, or messages. Create a digital sunset. Establish a time each evening when you put away all screens, e.g., 60-90 minutes before bed. This allows your mind to wind down naturally, improving sleep quality. Charge devices away from your bedroom. This simple act removes the temptation to check your phone throughout the night or first thing in the morning. Curate your feed. Unfollow accounts that trigger negative emotions or excessive comparison. Follow accounts that inspire, educate, or bring joy. Practice mindful scrolling. If you do engage with social media, set a timer. Before you start, take a few breaths and ask, what is my intention here? When the timer goes off, stop. Engage in offline hobbies. Actively pursue activities that require your full, undivided attention and are inherently screen-free, e.g., reading a physical book, cooking, gardening, playing a board game, spending time in nature. Communicate your boundaries. Let friends, family, and colleagues know if you're taking a digital break or have specific times when you're unavailable. By consciously managing your relationship with technology, you reclaim your attention, reduce mental clutter, and create more space for genuine presence. A mindful digital detox is not about deprivation, but about liberation in liberation from constant distraction and the anxiety of missing out. It allows you to fully inhabit your life, discovering that in the quiet moments of real-world engagement, now is enough for true contentment and connection. Chapter 10: Cultivating Gratitude for the Present. In our relentless pursuit of what's next, what's missing, or what needs fixing, it's incredibly easy to overlook the abundance that already exists in our lives. We often fall into a pattern of focusing on deficits, on problems, and on the elusive more. This mindset, while sometimes a driver for improvement, can also be a significant barrier to living in the present moment and experiencing genuine well-being. It keeps us in a state of perpetual dissatisfaction, always chasing a future happiness that remains just out of reach. Cultivating gratitude is one of the most powerful and accessible practices for shifting this perspective and enhancing our ability to find enough in the now. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a conscious appreciation for the positive aspects of life, both big and small, as they unfold in the present. It's about acknowledging the good that comes your way, whether it's a kind word from a stranger, the warmth of the sun on your face, a supportive friend, the taste of your morning coffee, or simply the ability to breathe. Research consistently shows that practicing gratitude can lead to increased happiness, reduced stress, improved relationships, better sleep, and greater resilience. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, fostering a profound sense of contentment and abundance in the here and now. Consider an individual who is constantly striving for future achievements, perhaps a promotion, a larger home, or a perfect relationship. Their mind is always focused on what they don't have yet or what needs to be improved. This leads to a pervasive sense of dissatisfaction, even when good things are happening in their present life. They might miss the joy of a simple family dinner, the beauty of a walk in the park, or the quiet satisfaction of a job well done, because their attention is always on the next goal. This future-oriented focus prevents them from experiencing contentment in the now. The turning point comes when they commit to a daily gratitude practice. By intentionally listing 3 things they are grateful for each evening, they begin to retrain their brain to notice the positive aspects of their present day. Initially, it might feel forced, but over time, they start to proactively look for things to appreciate during the day. This shift in perspective makes them less reactive to minor frustrations and more appreciative of the small joys and blessings that are already present. They realize that contentment isn't solely dependent on future accomplishments, but can be cultivated in the present moment through appreciation, affirming that now is enough to find joy. Here's how you can cultivate gratitude for the present in your daily life. Gratitude journaling. This is one of the most common and effective methods. Every day, morning or night, write down 3-5 things you are genuinely grateful for from that day. Be specific and detailed about the present experience. Gratitude jar. Write down moments of gratitude on small slips of paper as they happen throughout the day and put them in a jar. When you're feeling down or need a boost, pull out a few slips and read them to remind yourself of the good that has already occurred. Express gratitude directly. Make it a habit to thank people genuinely and specifically for something they did in the moment or recently. A simple, "Thank you for listening to me just now. It really helped," strengthens relationships and reinforces present connection. Mindful appreciation. Take moments throughout your day to consciously appreciate simple things as they are happening. The taste of your food, the warmth of a blanket, the sound of birds, a moment of quiet, the beauty of nature right in front of you. Engage all your senses. Gratitude meditation. There are many guided meditations focused on gratitude. These can help you cultivate a deeper, more embodied sense of appreciation for the present moment. Use gratitude as a reframe. When faced with a challenge or setback, try to find something to be grateful for within that situation as it is unfolding, even if it's just the lesson learned, the strength you are discovering, or the support you are receiving in the present. Gratitude walk. As you walk, consciously notice and appreciate things around you: the trees, the sky, the architecture, the kindness of strangers, the feeling of your feet on the ground. Focus on the sensory details of the present environment. Cultivating gratitude for the present is not about ignoring difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. It's about acknowledging the good that is already here, even amidst challenges, and consciously choosing to focus on that positive reality. It's a powerful antidote to the constant striving for more, a builder of resilience and a fundamental practice for creating a life that feels abundant, meaningful, and truly balanced in the here and now. By regularly acknowledging what you have in this moment, you open yourself up to receiving even more, and you infuse your life with a profound sense of joy and contentment, affirming that now is enough. Chapter 11. Building Resilience. Staying grounded in the moment. Life, as we've discussed, is a dynamic dance, not a static pose. Despite our best efforts to live mindfully in the present, setbacks, disappointments, and unexpected challenges are inevitable. A job loss, a health crisis, a relationship ending, a financial struggle. These moments can throw us completely off kilter, making the idea of staying grounded in the present seem impossible. This is where resilience comes in. Resilience isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about the capacity to bounce back, adapt, and even grow stronger in the face of adversity, all while maintaining a connection to the present moment. It's the ability to navigate the storms of life without being capsized by past regrets or future fears. Building resilience is a crucial aspect of creating a life that works for you, because true mindful living isn't just about enjoying calm moments. It's about having the inner fortitude to maintain your equilibrium and presence when the ground beneath you shifts. It's about having the mental and emotional tools to prevent a temporary disruption from becoming a permanent state of overwhelm and disconnection from the now. Consider an individual who has cultivated a strong sense of presence and contentment in their daily life. Suddenly, they face an unforeseen major life disruption, such as a significant personal loss. Initially, this event can trigger feelings of devastation, profound sadness, and a fear of losing all the peace they had cultivated. The immediate reaction might be to spiral into despair, dwelling on the past, or fearing a bleak future, thereby losing touch with the present. However, with developed resilience, their response shifts. Instead of being completely consumed by the setback, they can draw upon their cultivated inner resources. They might allow themselves to feel the initial shock and grief, but then consciously engage in mindful breathing to ground themselves in the present moment, acknowledging the pain without letting it completely overwhelm them. They apply self-compassion, acknowledging the difficulty of the situation without self-blame. They lean on their established support network for emotional encouragement, accepting comfort in the present. They reevaluate their life, recognizing that while one area is profoundly shaken, others remain strong and can provide stability. This allows them to approach the challenge with a problem-solving mindset, focusing on what they can control in the present, e.g., seeking support, taking small steps towards healing, rather than dwelling on what they cannot. This resilient approach helps them navigate the crisis, learn from it, and ultimately emerge stronger, with a deeper appreciation for the preciousness of each moment, affirming that now is enough to find strength and healing. Building resilience is an ongoing process, not a one-time fix. It involves cultivating a set of practices and a mindset that helps you navigate life's inevitable ups and downs while staying connected to the present. Here are key components. Cultivate self-awareness. Understand your emotional triggers, your stress responses, and your personal strengths and weaknesses. This allows you to anticipate and manage challenges more effectively, recognizing early warning signs of overwhelm and bringing yourself back to the present. Develop problem-solving skills. Instead of dwelling on problems or feeling paralyzed by them, focus on actively finding solutions in the present moment. Break down large challenges into smaller, manageable steps and brainstorm various approaches. Foster a positive outlook. Realistic optimism. This isn't about ignoring reality or being naively optimistic, but about believing in your ability to overcome challenges and seeing opportunities for growth, even in difficult situations. It's about maintaining hope for the future while acting effectively in the present. Build strong relationships. A strong support network is critical for resilience. Knowing you have people to lean on who can offer emotional support, practical help, or different perspectives provides immense strength and reduces feelings of isolation, allowing you to stay connected to the present human experience. Practice self-care consistently. Prioritize sleep, nutritious food, regular exercise, and moments of relaxation. These are not luxuries. They are foundational for your physical and mental capacity to cope with stress and bounce back from adversity, enabling you to be present and grounded. Embrace change and adaptability. Life is fluid and constantly evolving. The more flexible you are in your thinking and approach, the better equipped you'll be to navigate transitions and unexpected shifts without becoming rigid or breaking, allowing you to adapt gracefully in the present. Learn from experience. Reflect on past challenges you've faced. What did you learn from those experiences? How did you cope? What strengths did you discover about yourself? Apply these lessons and insights to future difficulties, informing your present actions. Set realistic goals. During times of stress or transition, adjust your expectations. Focus on small, achievable steps in the present moment rather than overwhelming yourself with grand ambitions. Celebrate small victories to build momentum. Find purpose and meaning. Having a sense of purpose beyond yourself, whether through work, relationships, or contribution, can provide immense motivation, perspective, and a reason to persevere during difficult times, grounding you in a larger context. Seek professional help when needed. There's no shame in seeking support from a therapist, counselor, or coach when you're struggling to cope with overwhelming challenges. Professional guidance can provide invaluable tools and strategies for staying present and resilient. Building resilience is about strengthening your inner core, much like strengthening the pillars of your life. It's about equipping yourself with the tools to not just survive, but to thrive amidst the complexities of life. When you cultivate resilience, you ensure that even when presence is temporarily disrupted, you have the capacity to breathe deeply, adjust your stance, and bounce back stronger than before, continuing your journey towards a life where now is enough. Conclusion: the ongoing practice of enough. As we conclude, now is enough, a simple path to mindful living. It's vital to reiterate that living in the moment is not a destination to be reached and then effortlessly maintained. It is profoundly and unequivocally an ongoing practice, a continuous, gentle redirection of attention, a dance of awareness, and a commitment to meeting life as it unfolds, moment by moment. The journey towards finding enough in the now is not about achieving a perfect state of perpetual calm, but about cultivating the skills and mindset to navigate the inherent fluctuations of existence with greater presence, peace, and acceptance. Throughout these chapters, we've explored the fundamental truths of mindful living. We began by acknowledging the pervasive human tendency to dwell in the past or project into the future, and the profound cost of this mental time travel. We then established the present moment as the only true reality, a boundless space waiting to be fully inhabited. We discovered the immediate and grounding power of the breath as an anchor, always available to pull us back to the here and now. We learned the liberating practice of observing our thoughts without judgment, creating space between ourselves and the incessant mental chatter. We explored how engaging our senses can transform mundane activities into vivid experiences, making every moment richer. We delved into infusing mindfulness into our everyday routines, turning chores and transitions into opportunities for presence. We cultivated non-reactivity, learning to pause and choose our responses rather than being driven by impulse. We embraced the liberating truth of imperfection and the profound peace that comes with acceptance of ourselves, of others, and of life's unpredictable nature. We recognized the vital role of intentional pauses, understanding that stepping back from constant doing is essential for resetting and recharging. We navigated the complexities of the digital age, learning to create boundaries with technology to reclaim our attention and presence. We cultivated gratitude for the present, shifting our focus from what is lacking to the abundance that already exists. And finally, we explored the crucial role of building resilience, equipping ourselves with the inner fortitude to stay grounded and bounce back stronger when life inevitably presents its challenges. The illustrative scenarios presented throughout this book highlight common human experiences. They demonstrate that by consistently applying these principles, by breathing deeply, observing gently, engaging fully, and accepting openly, it is possible to transform a life of constant striving into one of profound presence, where now is enough to find contentment, joy, and meaning. Your path to now is enough is deeply personal and ongoing. There will be moments when you feel completely immersed in the present, and moments when your mind wanders or you feel overwhelmed. The key is not to judge these fluctuations or to despair when they occur, but to meet them with curiosity, compassion, and a willingness to gently return to the practice. Ask yourself, am I truly present in this moment, or is my mind elsewhere? Am I using my breath to anchor myself when I feel pulled away? Can I observe my thoughts and emotions without getting entangled in them? Am I engaging my senses to experience the richness of what's happening right now? How can I infuse more mindfulness into my daily routines? Am I choosing my responses rather than reacting impulsively? Can I embrace imperfection and accept what is without resistance? Am I taking intentional pauses to reset and recharge? How can I manage my digital engagement to foster more presence? What am I grateful for in this very moment, however small? How can I draw upon my resilience to stay grounded amidst challenges? This book is not a final answer or a rigid prescription, but a comprehensive starting point for a lifelong practice. It's a toolkit of concepts and techniques, a guiding philosophy, and a gentle, consistent reminder to return to your breath, to listen to your inner wisdom, and to continuously choose presence. The path to enough is not linear. It's a spiral with continuous learning, evolving understanding, and ever-deepening moments of mindful living. So, take a deep breath, feel the air, feel your lungs, expanding your chest and abdomen, and then slowly, deliberately release it, letting go of tension and worry. This simple, profound act is a powerful reminder that you are alive, you are present, and you possess the inherent capacity to create a life that feels authentic, fulfilling, and truly grounded in the profound reality that now is enough. Keep breathing, keep noticing, keep living in the moment.